gathering test information, preparation strategies, predicting questions, and 5-day study guides. I'm Alex Lindsay, and this is your study cycle edition of Study Guide.
In order for the study cycle to work effectively, you should be keeping up with all of your classes. This means completing all of your readings, going to class, and taking notes during class. You should also be interactive with your professors and other classmates from time to time. If you fall behind, you can catch back up, but you'll still suffer from anxiety.
Before you can begin studying for a test, you should ask yourself questions that begin with words like what and how. The what involves writing down and gathering all the information that will be included on the test. Be sure to include specific chapters, lecture notes, either handwritten or in a PowerPoint presentation, and handouts. After clarifying what will be on the test, you should focus on how you'll be tested. This can be done by asking your professor, an academic mentor, or students who have previously taken the course. Remember that test questions are associated with different types of learning. Therefore, your study methods will be based upon your own personal learning style, as well as the types of learning that potential test questions will address. For example, a beginning level foreign language test may include a vocabulary section. Flashcards work well with this type of learning.
Being able to predict test questions is closely related to gathering information about the exam. This will allow you to study more efficiently and reduce any uncertainties you have about the types of questions you'll be asked. Divide it up into 3 categories based on how you'll be tested. First, objective questions are of the easiest difficulty level and usually pertain to definitions, categories, or names and dates. Practicing objective questions involves creating your own true-false, multiple choice, or matching questions. Second, recall questions require that you recall groups of information or apply knowledge in order to solve a problem or describe the events involved in a process or model. Make sure to budget enough time to practice and develop these types of questions. Third, essay questions are of the most difficulty level that you will deal with on a test, quiz, or exam. In addition to having to remember and apply certain forms of information, you must be able to organize this information in a logical manner. Unless your professor gives you a list of possible essay questions, the best way to predict these questions is to look for major themes that you have covered in the chapters or topics in your class.
Finally, the 5-day study plan is a time management system that occurs 5 consecutive days before a test or exam. The first 4 days are used for studying, and the 5th day is used for reviewing. The goal of this study system is to help you effectively complete all of your studying tasks prior to the test and to eliminate any unnecessary stress. In fact, the 5-day study plan is a continuation of everything you've been doing thus far in preparation of the test, such as gathering test information and predicting test questions. 5 days is an arbitrary amount of time and should be adjusted as necessary depending on the difficulty of the test and the amount of information being covered on the test.
First, develop a list of all of the information that will be included on the test. Second, choose specific times that you will study each day. Third, divide up the information into parts and apply each one to a specific day. Before you begin studying, you should develop a method of how you will study. Will you be answering review questions, rereading notes or a section of a chapter, and/or studying with a partner? As you study, remember to take an abbreviated set of notes for reviewing on the 5th day. Finally, on the 5th day, go over your review notes.
Now that you know the best way to prepare for a test, start planning ahead. Remember, our BLC resource mentors are here to help you as you start to use these time management techniques. The Bepko Learning Center is open Monday through Thursday from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. and Friday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Stop by today and see what we can do to help you prepare for those tests.